Alright, I think if everything has gone to plan, I am now live on Race Spec on the YouTube channel. So, g'day guys and girls, welcome to the Race Spec Esports YouTube channel. It's Sunday night, which means it's Race Spec Leagues night, and it is RS3 that we're live streaming for you tonight. One of your brand new commentators for the basically, well, we assume the remainder of this season is VSR Roscoe Arm, or Ross, whichever way you want to go with. And I do not mind at all, but yeah, if you're wondering where I've sort of come from, I was originally racing in the tier above in RS2, but due to my very average season, let's be honest, it's not been the greatest of seasons overall. I decided to take a step what's the best word? Step back a little bit from the driving side of things and what was had into the ring for a bit of commentating. So I did do the Pacific Tier 1 alongside Smeg on Tuesday night. So this is my first solo commentating for a little while. The first time doing live streaming, so hopefully everything is going to plan. Let me know, as always, down in the comments section below. Or, the live chat, I should say. I'm not used to doing this stuff in a live chat, to say the least. So, yeah, as you can see here, we've only got 9 drivers tonight. A little bit disappointing, if I've got to be honest. So, we might have a 10th join us, potentially, during qualifying, that being GeForce TP. But the current moment, so at the moment is Yassine. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Yassine on this one. I'm not even going to go with the rest of the gamer tag. Currently he's with an 18.862, ahead of the racing point of Batuka. Again, if I butcher some of these gamer tags, I sincerely apologise. This is just the guess that I'm going with. So, but we got Finn Kelly in position 3 in the AlphaTauri. In a 19.50. Ambrose Rocks 17. That's got to be a Marcus Ambrose fan, possibly. And in 4th in a 19.739. Cavuti just put himself up into P5 in a 19.755. The Half King in P6. That blank name that you see there is actually Stone Towel. He actually left the qualifying session a little bit earlier. But he's managed to join back. He's currently on a 20.092. And Jay Nachos, who I've seen was racing in Tier 1 at Pacific on Tuesday, is in RS3. I think this is his first race, if I'm not mistaken. So a big welcome to him. Has not set a lap time and hasn't even left the garage at this point in time. So fingers crossed the stream is looking okay. Anyway, if you do see a little bit of lagging from time to time with some of these drivers, just bear in mind, the RS leagues are a little bit different to your normal regional leagues that we have on a Tuesday night, which obviously is Pacific, Euro, and Americas. So basically, the RS leagues is basically, I think I've said this maybe somewhere else, but it's basically all the regions in one sort of thing. But it doesn't really matter too much assist-wise, I don't think, so much. Obviously, the top tier is for the best in the business. You will probably notice that with a lot of the quick guys they've got in the season. As you see, he goes for a big crash. There's my first crash I've seen on the live stream, and I've caught it right on cue. So Yassine is out of qualifying, and his tyre is just absolutely going nuts on the top of his car. Don't know why that is, but he's out of qualifying. So he's currently on top at the moment with an 18.862. Just having a look through the chat. At the moment, Finn Kelly, of course, who's supposed to be racing. Preferably, don't watch the live stream and drive at the exact same time. Do not recommend it. Especially, I've seen some people who've actually tried to do it. I would not recommend it. But Finn Kelly, as mentioned, it's rain is 10 minutes away. Not exactly sure what time that was sent, actually. So we should probably set that as soon as possible. As Batuka now goes to the top with an 18.666. So he goes nearly 2/10 clear of Yassine there, who, as I mentioned before, was out of qualifying. But also Finn saying it's a dry race. So there's TP right on cue. So should be joining in his Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure what car he drives in this league, but this is round 6 of the championship as well, by the way, if you haven't already noticed. We're at the Italian Grand Prix. So I think we've reached the halfway point, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, not quite the halfway point. There's 15 rounds in this championship, so we're nearly there at the halfway point. I think originally it was supposed to be 14 rounds, but of course, one round did get added in, obviously, that being the Australian Grand Prix, which is next week. Obviously, since the real-life Australian Grand Prix has been moved to November, has obviously changed things up, because a lot of people would probably have gone to the league. Not to the league, to the race itself, but seeing it's been pushed back to November, well, those plans have changed now. As TP, is he in a Renault? Oh yeah, he is in a Renault. My apologies. He's in a Mercedes, usually his G-Force TP in Tier 1 of Pacific, so that's probably where I got a little bit mixed up there a little bit. But 7 minutes to go. So when majority of the drivers will be in the pit lane. The Italian Grand Prix, of course, is pretty much long straights around here. There's only the odd few slow corners, you call them chicanes, literally. So, but usually at this track you would need a lot of low downforce, I would say. But also as well as just maybe just flow the car through the corners as best as you can, and hopefully you can have a decent lap time around here. And of course, slipstream will be a big plus in this. Well, for this race meeting, and especially maybe in the top tiers, possibly. Who knows? We might see it in Tier 3. But let's stick aboard here with Link's Magic into turn 1. Just misses the apex a little bit. Nicely touches the apex through Rettifilio. Nice drive out of that corner. Now through Curva Grande. You take the tightest line through here. Then you line yourself up to the next chicane, which is the Variante della Roggia. Back about just a bit past the 100-metre board. Take a nice... That looked beautiful through there. Can afford to run it out a little bit too wide. Not too wide, though. Otherwise, you'll end up in the gravel trap. Now through the 2 Lesmos. This is always a tricky one. Second Lesmos can catch a few people out. I've done that myself, especially last season. Now, we're down the Cerro Giglio. Back straight into Ascari. This is probably one of the tricky corners, and a lot of people get caught up here. As I say that, he's in the wall and he's out. Well, I did say that'll be one of the tricky corners around this track, and I've been proven right. So Link's Magic is another one who's joined that list of people out of qualifying already. Two crashes already I've caught in qualifying. Who would have thought this on my debut live stream, to say the least. But under the last 5 minutes to go here, and it is starting to overcome a little bit overcast here. That came out very badly, I'll admit it. But it's starting to get a little bit grayer and darker around here. So these guys might have to set their lap times pretty shortly here. Otherwise, they may get caught out with the rain a little bit later on. And usually you wait till pretty much the last minute or so before you set your lap times, but especially what I was told is correct by Finn Kelly, the rain is definitely a-coming, that is for sure. So here's Batuka. We'll try to see if we can do a lap somewhere. I don't think anybody else is on a lap. I could be wrong. We'll have a look here through sector... that was passed through the first sector. It was a 10th down on his... obviously his pole time at the moment. Oh, just runs it a little bit wide coming through the first Lesmo. I think it might be Ambrose, might be the first one. Oh, he just runs it a little bit wide. So you could either run out a little bit too wide at the second Lesmo, or obviously you could end up turn yourself around into a wall. That probably still made no sense at all. So I've been told, I think I've mentioned as well, Finn has said it is a dry race. So no weather's not going to be making any inroads in the race, unfortunately. But here's Ambrose to the line, goes P4 with a 19.3. Goes 2 tenths quicker than his previous best lap time at the moment. I think Patuka will probably be going for another lap here. Haven't seen any indicator to say that the rain is on its way. Not sure why he'd be using a lot of ERS as one ball with the half king. Don't believe he was on a flyer. I could be wrong. As Stone Tower is retired. It actually looks like he might have crashed, actually, at Parabolica. By the looks of it, that yellow flag there on the mini-map. So, and I don't think we'll be able to see his car by the time his teammate, actually, Finn Kelly, gets close to him. So, well, you never know. Might still be there. No, it's actually disappeared. I'll take that back, what I said. So, and it's actually starting to rain as I speak. As you can see there on Finn Kelly's car. Let's see what lap time he can do here. It's only a 19.5 for him. Can he improve? Only by a little bit. Goes to an 18.96. So it's just about half a second pretty much quicker than his previous best lap time. And he's pretty much backed out of it. So this might be nearly qualifying done and dusted. Ambrose Rocks 17. I don't think he's on a flyer. He's in nil ERS at the moment, so I'm going to say no. Kavuti's on an out lap. He may have missed the... He may have missed out here because yeah, I think he's probably picked the wrong time to set a lap time. Patuka is also coming to the pit lane, so his lap time might be enough. It is. So he's retired from in the pits. Who else we got? Ambrose, I would assume he's retired. GeForce TP has crashed. There he is, off to the right-hand side of your screen. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to get caught up in those chicanes, to say the least. That was down at the Variante de la Rogier. So I'm going to assume Jay Nachos has actually run out of fuel here because he's going very slowly here, so he won't be improving. Doubtful Finn will be going for another lap as Kavuti has retired. So I don't think he was on a fly as well. And Half King is pretty much just going at, well, you could say snail's pace really, as he runs off the road there. As don't know if he's got front wing damage, a bit hard to tell here, but I would safe to say that he is qualifying. Done and dusted, as that's not a great camera shot, especially when I'm waiting for the car as he now retires. Okay, so as we basically just wait for Nachos, because Finn's already in the pit lane. I think by now he could basically retire here. We might go across the line. I don't even know what the hell's going on at this point in time. Might be going for a practice start as DRS gets disabled in the last 30-odd seconds here. No, he's not going for a fly here, so I have no idea what Nachos is doing here. I think he could basically retire the car now, mate, considering there's nobody else on track except you, as he now retires. So we just await the countdown clock to count down to 0, unless Finn wants to retire, which I don't know that that's possible or not. 4, 3, 2, 1... as we hit the 0 mark. So that is qualifying done and dusted. So it's Patuka, the Finnish driver, who gets pole position with an 18.666. So he did that lap time obviously very early on, and that was good enough to stay pole position. Yassine in P2, the Frenchman, with an 18.862, nearly 2/10 off the pace. I'll mention him in a second, what he mentioned in the comments. Lynx Magic in P3, the other racing points. It's a 1 and 3 for them. Jay Nachos in P4 at 18.954. Finn Kelly in P5, 18.96. Only 5 guys in the top, in the 18s. And you got Ambrose in P6, Kavuti 7th, Half King in 8th, Stone Tal in 9th, and GeForce TP rounding out your top 10 for this Italian Grand Prix. So yeah, I'm not really too sure what the go is. I'm pretty sure RS3 is supposed to have a lot more numbers than this, so you never know. We may have a, I think there was possibly chat earlier on about potentially maybe merging some more tiers, considering most people are not turning up. I don't know why. Even when I was checking the absence channel, there was not many people in RS3. I think the only one was actually TP, but he had a decent reason, because obviously he was going to join later on in qualifying. So we just await everybody to pick their strategy. So Lynx Magic is pretty much ready to go. Yassine has popped into the chat there. He's 3/10 up in the hand, the face and in the hand emoji. Yeah, I could probably understand that, Yassine. If you probably pretty much finished your lap, you might have been on the pole position. but not this case. But still a race to go. There's no points for qualifying in Formula 1. Although if you're in the Formula 2 or Formula 3, then there's definitely points for this for qualifying, for getting a pole position. So here we go. Off they go for their formation lap, and I'll mention the points in a second once we have a look at the tyres. So yeah, pretty much everybody who's set a lap time is going to be on soft compounded tyres. So Patuka, Yassine, Links Magic, Jane Nachos. There's the predicted strategy thanks to powered by AWS. So it's a pretty simple strategy around here. We'll get to that in a moment. So Nachos, Finn Kelly, Ambrose, Cavudi, Half King, Stone Towel. Just ignore that the gamer tag is not showing, but I know it's Stone Towel. And GeForce TP, the only driver, of course, didn't set a lap time, but is going to start on the opposite strategy. Probably not a bad play here, considering there's only 10 runners here. And of course, he's in Daniel Ricciardo's car by the look of it, considering he's got the Daniel Ricciardo's number. I don't know why this is a glitch thing when you join during qualifying and you don't even get your own race number. It just seems very weird there, but championship actually looks like this. So Harry Ryan is actually the championship leader on 79 points. He's 6 clear of Patuka. Harry is obviously not here, so the championship lead could change in a moment. White Tunes is currently P3. Of course, another driver who's not here on 50 points. Then it's Nodsty in a McLaren in P4, who's not here either. Finn Kelly in P5, so he might make up some ground. Aiden F1 in P6, who's not here, obviously. Ambrose in P7. Jane Game Wow in P8. Cavudi 9th, and FRL Geordie rounding out your top 10. There's a few, obviously, drivers that are not here. So you've got Trap Formula in 11th. Yassine 12th. Stone Tail 13th. Dr. Diarrhea 14th. Half King 15th. Polish Gorilla 16th. And yeah, you can probably guess the rest by now. Well, not at this stage anyway, but there's a few of them not here. Williams currently have a 6-point lead over Racing Points in the Constructors' Championship, so that might change around a little bit. Mercedes in 3rd, AlphaTauri, McLaren, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Haas, Renault, and Red Bull. I'll probably have to get used to showing the standings once I know a little bit more about streaming here, but looks like we're all set to go here at the Italian Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Away we go for the Italian Grand Prix, and it looks like a good start for the pole sitter into turn 1. We go. That Haas there is pulled out to the inside of Yassine. I think that is down into turn 1 we go. Fingers crossed everybody can get through here cleanly. Looked like it was a bit of locker. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch there, I think, between Yassine and Nachos. That will give an advantage there to the AlphaTauri of, I think that's Finn Kelly, it is. He's going to go side by side now with Yassine here. Thinks about it, but pulls back into the slipstream a little bit. We might have a go down here into Della Roggia. He does. There's contact. Oh, he's around. They're both rounds. Oh, wow, what the heck just happened there? There's a lot of stuff happening here. You can call it an inter-team battle, considering both AlphaTauri and Red Bull are in the same sort of Red Bull-owned teams sort of thing. But that's not a great start for both those guys who started 2nd and 5th, I think, from memory. Or 4th, I can't actually remember, but those guys are now at the back of the pack, and this has allowed Patuka to take a full advantage of this as he runs very, very wide there, coming out of Ascari. He's got a 3-second advantage already over this next group, which is currently led by the Haas of Jane Nachos. So Ambrose just has a little look there on Link's Magic. Going down to Parabolica. And lap 1 is completed in the books, and I don't think Patuka wouldn't have minded this. Is what's going on here. Ambrose, and as usual, the typical lap 2 glitch is happening, so just ignore what is going on your screen. It should rectify itself by the end of Sector 1, I think, from memory, but those two are going side by side here into turn 1, even though it looks like it's ghosting. It's not. Trust me, it's not. But it's Link's Magic just hanging on for the time being in P3. So it's actually still Patuka that leads the way. Yassine has actually come into the pit lane, so he's changed to the medium compounded tyres, and I would assume a front wing. Surprisingly, I think Oh, DP has gone for a bold move, I think, potentially on... That might have been which one of the AlphaTauris, I'm not sure. I don't actually know which one of them. It might have been Finn Kelly again, so Finn's in every bit of action so far. In my first race as a streamer, as a commentator for this league. But it's all happening at the moment. My word. So Finn Kelly's stayed out, so he might have gotten away with damage. I might have to actually have a look at this. Wow, I'm actually surprised he's actually not got any more front wing damage than what he has got, I think. He's still got both his end plates? Yep, he does. So, wowzers. That is incredible. So Yassine's all the way back in position 10. So we start lap 3, officially. Patuka sets the fastest lap with a 1:22.493. 3.7 second margin now he's got over Jay Nachos. There's Half King and Ambrose going side by side here. And I think he's got this one done, so nice move there for the Alfa Romeo driver. So he gets himself up into 4th place. There's the Half King. So obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you might see a few movers and shakers up this championship order because there's a lot of them that are obviously not here. Not entirely sure why that's the case, but obviously if they obviously don't notify them in the lead up to this event, sort of like into the race meeting. Oh, Ambrose runs very wide there, going into the second Lesbo. But like I was saying, if they don't let the coordinators know of this tier that they are not racing, then obviously will get themselves a warning, and obviously 3 strikes, and obviously you will lose your full-time seat and drop back to a reserve, which is obviously a little bit disappointing. You would obviously like to have a little bit better, a few better numbers anyway. So, but you never know. We'll wait and see. This might be just a one-off. You never know. Nachos now sets the fastest lap of the race, 22.319. Let me just check what's the... There we go. So he's just got about a 0.18 of a second quicker. Well, 0.17 close enough anyways. He just runs wide coming out of the Rettifilio. But he was closing that gap a little bit. Currently 3.96, now 4 seconds now. Got down to about 3.5, but of course that little error has probably cost him a little bit there. There's Link's Magic there just in position 3. So Racing Point looking the goods at the moment. It's going to take a while, obviously, for when we get to next season to get used to the name Aston Martin. It was probably the same point when we had to say, obviously, Force India the first time around when I first got into league racing F1 2017. Then we obviously had the name changed to Racing Point. That was probably 2018, I want to say. Through Ascari we go. 0.5 of a second here between Link's Magic and Nachos. Oh, yellow flags. Kavuti's gone! In the wall! Don't think we can see it there. A safety car has been deployed. And Patuka's missed it. That was just the wrong possible timing there for the race leader. Oh, Nachos, why would you do that? You didn't need to do anything silly. He's now got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But all these guys are going to take advantage. From the look of where Kavuti was crashed out, it looked like it was just at the exit of Ascari. Just off to the left-hand side there where that tyre wall was. It can catch out quite a few people here. So, there's obviously double stacking here at AlphaTauri. There probably would have been a similar thing at Racing Point had Patuka maybe pitted, but of course it probably just came out at the wrong time. That safety car, the sort of the timing of the safety car. So, it'll be interesting to see what he goes on here. You can see here, Nachos is on the hard cop out of tyres. Obviously, safety car there just waiting to pick up the leader. Hopefully nobody crashes into the safety car. Ambrose drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Oh, no, 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 no. He's in a decent position of 5th place, and well, you can't serve the drive-through until the safety car goes into the pit lane. So this is going to cost him big time. He'll drop to the back of the field here. Probably all the way back if G-Force TP catches up to the safety car, which I would assume he would. Is Patuka going to come in? Yes, he does. So he's got a 27-second gap here. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, everybody else has got to be stuck to a delta. So in he comes. Now, obviously, it's going to be interesting what the tyres they go on. As you can see, it's a little bit mixed up and down the grid because it's a bit of an awkward time. And when the safety car come out, so he will retain the race lead, thankfully. So, thankfully, it hasn't been too costly for Patuca. As Nachos here is going to get rid of the 5-second penalty, by the look of it, or he's put on the wrong tyres. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just noticed here. Okay, so he's going to get rid of the 5-second penalty, so that probably won't matter too much. Probably not a bad play here, but he's going to chuck back on the medium compactor tyres, so that'll be interesting. Kavuti's now left the session. Oh, TP, a 3-second time penalty. He's probably just pushing to catch back up to the back of the safety car. The field of the safety car. That probably made no sense whatsoever. So, let's have a look here. As it's currently a racing point 1-2 at the moment. Patuca has gone on to the mediums. Lynx Magic is the same, gone on to the mediums. Halfway Kings decided for the hard compactor tyres. Ambrose, who will of course have to serve a drive-through penalty once the safety car has come in, is on the medium compactor tyres. He's in a pretty decent position as well. Stone Towel is on the medium compactor tyres as well. Finn Kelly's on the hards. His teammate there in P6. You can see, this is actually going to be helpful for these guys. There's obviously the little kerfuffle that these two had on the lap 1. Not sure whether that one will be taken to the stewards or not. We'll have to wait and see. But you've seen, obviously, come in. Well, it says he's been on those tyres for 3 laps, so we'll have to double check on that one. Nacho's there in P8. Also, has obviously got back onto the medium compactor tyres. He originally went onto the hard compactor tyres, but probably realised that majority of the field has gone onto the mediums. So theoretically, you think they would get to the end of the race. So there's a TP is also on the medium compactor tyres. As Ambrose is coming into the pit lane. I'm not entirely sure what this is for. Nachos is in again. As Ambrose is going for the hard compactor tyres. Okay, interesting. And Nachos again for another set of medium compactor tyres. So he's probably trying to get onto the freshest set of medium compactor tyres. And he might lose a spot here to GeForce TP. These guys will be racing to the line there. That's where the sort of the safety car line, you could say, as to who's in front at the safety car sort of thing, or the yellow flags. And he comes out in 9th place. But he who has the freshest compactor tyres, I think, out of everybody here, if I'm not mistaken. So we should, I think, theoretically get a safety car restart at the end of this lap. Let me just have a quick drink, excuse me. Righto, we've had a little bit of a breather as the safety car is in this lap. As always, guys and girls, if you are watching this video, be sure to smash the like button as always, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you are new. The links, if you want to come and join this league, down in the description below to the Discord league, and also if you want to follow us on the social media channels, they're down there as well to the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram channels. I'm going to keep an eye out on the everything Race Spec. So here we go. Should have a safety car restart right about now, as we do. So Patuca is going to take us to the control line, and we're green flag. We should actually have the telemetry on here. That might actually help a little bit better. There we go. There's a Lynx Half King having a little bit of a look there on Lynx Magic. So one racing point we're trying to pull away. There's what's happened here? Not sure, entirely sure. I think everyone's clean here. Oh, there's a bit of a moment there for Stone Towel. He must have had it off somewhere because he's dropped a bunch of spots. He was in 4th, and now he's back to 8th. Oh, that's one of the hass there of Nachos trying to go for a move up the inside. Where's Ambrose? Just gets around the outside. That's a rare opportunity there at the Variante de la Rogier. But he gets the move done up to 6th place. So keep an eye on this man here in the Haas in position 6. As Ambrose, I think, runs a little bit wide here, and I think TP, or what's going on here? Something's going on here with Stone Tower because he's lost a lot of ground here. Not entirely sure what's going on here because he's back now to the last place officially, since obviously Cavuti has DNF'd out of this race. So, all yellow flags. Oh, Lex Magic's in the wall! He's out of this race. And this time it's a virtual safety car at Ascari. So another driver has gone victim to that wall there, just coming out of Ascari. Just pretty much the same spot as Cavuti has. Now, is anybody going to take advantage of this here? Ambrose is back in again. He might actually put on the medium compound tyres. You can't do your drive-through penalty on the virtual safety car either. Oh, what the heck is going on here? Patuka's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. I have no idea what that was all about. Anyway, we're back green flag racing, so it's all happening here in RS3. I literally have no idea what the hell has happened there. Whether somebody outbraked themselves or what, or whether he just made an error. That's very weird. Ambrose has gone off with the soft compounder tyres. They will definitely not make it to the end, so he has to be hoping for a safety car at this point in time. Let's have a look at... As Nachos, it's a 3-second time penalty. As we get a nice little glitch there. The good old revving glitch. You love to see it, as always. And he's closing in here on Nachos, so 3-second penalty for him. As well as G-Force TP and Patuka obviously got a 5-second penalty. Potentially could be removed later on. We might wait and see. Obviously, Ambrose with the drive-through penalty still hanging over his head, so he might have to come back in again. So he's been in to the pits many a times already. As you see there, he's been on there 3 stops. Might be making a 4th one very shortly. 1.5 seconds, 1.6 seconds now between Patuka and Half King. Down into turn 1. He's not quite close enough at the moment. There's Finn Kelly in 3rd. So it's, see the movers and shakers there. Half King up 6 spots. The best of everybody so far. And G-Force TP is up 5 spots. Oh, there's some very good as worse. Ambrose got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane and retires in the pits. That pretty much sums it up, really. I mean, I know you got a drive-through penalty, but you still got to score points. Remember, this season, the top 15 actually score points in this league, not the top 10 compared to other leagues. Now, obviously, this is the one of the changes they made for this season. So pretty much if we had like 15, or we had like say 20 odd drivers here, 15 of them will probably score points. So at this rate, only 7 of them are going to be scoring points at this rate. We'll have to wait and see. So we begin lap, about to start lap 11. So we've got 10 complete, just about very shortly. It's 2.3 seconds between Patuka and Half King. And of course, the guys in 2nd and 3rd are on the hard compounder tyres. So we just need to see whether the medium compounder tyres can make it to the end here. As you've seen, again, battling away with Finn Kelly. He'll be sick of these guys after this. As Finn, might have been a little bit of a squeeze there. Finn actually cut the chicane there at the Retafilio. Oh, that was a very dangerous rejoin there. But in the end, he loses a spot there to Nachos. He might actually go for a run here, going into De La Rogier. Does. Sends it too deep, I think. Very deep. That was a risky one there. TP, I think, nearly slammed into the back of the Haas there. But he just needed to be patient, I think, at Nachos. But in all of that, I think we're back to square one again. So Yassine's back now into 3rd. Yassine's got a 5-second penalty for gaining 1 place. So it might have got an illegal overtake. And considering Nachos is a spot further back, well, this game can be very weird sometimes, let's just say the least. Yellow's in Sector 3. That's TP. That's gone around at Ascari. So a lot of these guys are getting caught out at Ascari. So we got the camera shot there. Patuka sets the fastest lap of the race at 21.999. There's a good chopper shot here, but not the angle that I want currently at the moment, Cody's. So I don't know if he's got any front wing damage here, so might have gotten away with that. Not entirely 100% sure here. Nacho's another 3-second time penalty. He's pushing very, very hard here, and to the point where he's probably corner cutting this a little bit too much here. Just needs to settle things down a little bit. I think he knows probably he's got the pace over these guys in front here. Yassine, I'd be probably questioning at this stage, considering he's on 9-lap old mediums. I'd be doubtful whether he can get to the end of the race. So he's a reserve driver. Half King now gets a 3-second time penalty, so a lot of these guys will be getting time penalties. And that's not going to help Half King either, considering race leader's got a 5-second penalty. It probably won't matter too much at the moment, considering he's already got that 5 seconds already. Nearly 6 seconds at this point in time. Closest battle here, well, two closest battles here, I think, is we got Yassine here in the Red Bull, closing in on to the Half King in the Alfa Romeo. And we've also got Jay Nachos closing in on Finn Kelly. Just let me know, guys and girls, as well, just if the sound quality is all good as well. I was doing a bit of testing during the week to see whether the sound, whether it was too loud or whether I was too loud or the game sound was too loud or too low, whatnot. But here goes Yassine, right on the outside. Is he going to pull it off? Yes, he does. As the Alfa Romeo just giving him a little nudge to say hello, but he gets the move done. So Yassine up into P2 now, but yeah, just obviously just let me know, guys and girls, whether I need to adjust the volume a little bit or not. But I think it's so far so good. So have a look through in the chat here. As always, just let me know through the live chat, as that looks like Stone Towers at a moment, and he does, because he's lost a bit of his front wing by the looks of it. So he'll be coming back into the pit lane as he runs very wide coming through the second Lesmo here. Want to be careful because G-Force TP's coming down the Serragilio. Nachos again, another 3-second time penalty. So I think he might get the move done here into Ascari, and he does. I don't think I want to fight him too much here. Mitchell Collin in the live chat saying, I'm going to assume you are Ambrose, Rock 17. How did no one else get a drive-through but me for the bloody safety car? I don't know, to be honest. But obviously you just got to keep an eye on your delta time. So that's obviously the key under safety cars. Nachos is trying to get the move done on Finn Kelly in a turn, the first couple of corners at Retifilio, and he does finally. Albeit he went in very deep, but he's now got the move done, but it might not be done yet. Here he comes. As he's got nothing left in the overtake. I turn it off, son. Oh, send it! That's too deep. That's way too deep there. You have to get the spot back, I'm afraid, son. There we go. Nicely done. I'd turn off the overtake if I were you, because you don't want to be using too much overtake. Trust me, just look at the top guys. You do not use a lot of overtake. You can try to, but if you get underneath 10%, you won't have a lot of engine power. Into Ascari now. This is pretty much the closest battle we've got on track at the moment. An update as well. Stone Towers come in and put on the hard compounder tyres, so and he's 36 seconds off the nearest car, which of course is G-Force TP. So Batuka still leads the way. 6.9 seconds clear, nearly 7 seconds clear of Yassine. Majority of these guys have got penalties. Only one that hasn't got a penalty. Oh, the only two that haven't got penalties so far, and Finn Kelly and Stone Tower. So the two AlphaTauris are keeping it clean. Whether they can channel their inner Pierre Gasly or not and win the Italian Grand Prix like he did, like Pierre did last season in the real life Formula One Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. We'll have to wait and see. But those hard compounder tyres might come back to Finn a little bit later on. Runs it very deep there going into Variante della Rogier. Fly through to second Lesmo. 7 seconds now, this gap between the top guys. We've got opportunity. What am I looking at? Race director. So incident, pit stops. No, incidents. So yeah, the looks of it, Ambrose is the only one that got the drive through. So I'm going to be assuming that you didn't watch your Delta time, Ambrose. That's probably the only reason I can think of. Then the only time the Delta time, the Delta will go away is when obviously the leader does catch up to the safety car. Well, it usually does. Sometimes it's a little bit glitched out, but yeah, that's probably the only thing I can think of here. I've got to assume everybody else was underneath their Delta time and behaving themselves, really. So here we go, lap 16. Everyone's sort of starting to phase out a little bit here. There's that AlphaTauri in P4. Half King at the moment and currently in P3. So let me just have a quick look here. As Nachos is trying to close in again on Finn Kelly, but I think he's made an error because that gap's nearly gone out to 1.4 seconds, so he won't get the DRS, I don't think. Coming into Sergilio. So at this rate, if the results were to stay like this, Patuka would take the championship lead off Harry Ryan. Of course, is not racing, like I said. So obviously there is quite a few drivers that are not racing. So this championship table will change right, left and centre. TP gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So I think he's up to, what is he up to? What do I need? This one, 6 seconds. Nachos has got 15 seconds, so you want to be very careful he doesn't build up that penalty count too much, otherwise he might be under, well, he might get disqualified a little bit later on, but he's now outside that 1 second gap to Finn Kelly, so those hard compounder tyres might just be getting into the window here. The medium compounder tyres, usually they would be okay. It's the usual strategy around here, soft to mediums. But if you get a safety car like we did very early on, it's a little bit of a risk, but of course you'd have to manage these tyres to the end of the race. And well, we're probably the top two guys, so they've got quite a bit of a gap there. I'll probably just ease off the pace a little bit just to make sure you get to the end. And I'd probably especially get seen considering he's on 14-lap-old medium compounder tyres. So there's probably a little bit of a worry for him at this stage. He might have to pit again. I'll be surprised if he doesn't, doesn't get a puncture later on, unless he can take those to the end. I'll be very surprised if he can take those to the end. Did see that in Tier 1 of Pacific, where I think it was G-Force Crichton that got a puncture late on in the left rear. As there we go. So there's answers my question there. So Yassine's come in, so he definitely can't make it to the end. So you might have realised that. So that'll elevate a few people up and down the order. So, he might be serving one of his 5-second penalties as well. So he'll chuck on the softs, and he'll be flying. He might get the fastest lap bonus point here. And of course, that's another one of the rule changes. Obviously, with the, like I mentioned before, the top, if we had like a a full 20 drivers, 15 of them would be only scoring points. But if he's again, this is just an example here. If we got a full 20, basically anybody could go for the fastest lap bonus point. So that's not just the top 10. You have to obviously, if in real life, you have to be in the top 10 to get the extra bonus point. But in this league for this season, obviously that's changed. So he might be going for that one, I no doubt. And he's got a 16-second gap to catch up to G-Force TP. But now I think he's pretty much clean of penalties, by the looks of things. That's not what I wanted. Let's have a look at the race director. That might be the place to look. Okay, yeah, that was their 5-second time penalty. Can't actually remember what that was for. No, anyway, he's gotten rid of that that penalty, so he might make some moves up the lane here. Nachos, another 5-second penalty. I think is this another 5-second penalty? I'm not sure, but we'll find out here. He's actually come in for the put on the softs. No, that might be his first 5-second penalty, but he's come on to the soft compound tyres. So obviously he doesn't have the belief that he can get to the end of the race. It'll be interesting to see who gets this bonus point here. So obviously you're seeing there might be a little bit of lag along the way, but of course you probably will expect that, considering this is obviously all the regions put together, you could say. So there might be the odd lag now and again. So the G-Force TP, another 3-second time penalty. He's currently 4th. It's not looking ideal for him. Patuka now 15-second gap, so very, very comfortable up the front here. Battle might be interesting here for 2nd and 3rd place, as DP actually comes into the pit lane, so he might be another driver that puts on the soft compounded tyres and goes for fastest lap, bonus point. Let's see, yep, he is going to go to the softs, as you've seen, sets the fastest lap now to 20.282. You would think a 19 would probably be not far away. We'll see on this lap with Jay Nachos. And maybe TP might put in a challenge for that as well. But yeah, the only battle closest at the moment is 1.5 seconds. It's Half King and Finn Kelly. As Finn now gets a 3-second time penalty. I think that's his first penalty of the race, so let's have a look here. That's not what I want. There we go. So yeah, he's got his first 3-second penalty. So it's basically going to be, if he wants to catch up and get 2nd spot, he has to pass Half King now for that position. But Patuka doesn't really matter too much with that 5-second penalty unless something dramatic happens later on. And he's got this win wrapped up in the bag. Anyone that haven't got penalties is, well, Stone Towel obviously in 7th. He's pretty much on his own there, 19 to 20 odd seconds behind TP, who's got 9 seconds. Nacho's 20 seconds. So he's got quite a lot of penalties. Might be a little narrow from the look of it on his fuel light. Got the yellow light on. It usually means that you've maybe underfilled the car a little bit, so it might be something to keep an eye on a little bit. I think you can turn the overtake on when you're going through the corners here. Don't want to be using too much overtake, usually out of the corners, but not in the corners. I probably would not recommend it unless you go for a spin, but let's have a look if we can have a look here. So he set a 21.2 that last lap, so he's about a second, a bit over a second. Obviously runs a little bit wide coming through Variante de la Rogier. Oh, very wide coming through the first Lesmo. So he's really pushing on here. We'll keep an eye here on G-Force TP as the race leader pits. Okay, that might change a little bit here. Oh, he'll get rid of the 5-second penalty, so there'll be one less thing to worry about, but interesting here. Maybe he doesn't have the confidence that the mediums will go to the ends. It'll be interesting to see here, because Yassine is coming down the front straight here. There's Patuka coming out of the pit lane, so he'll maintain what sort of will be the effective, well, you could say the effective race lead, but now obviously it's these guys, so this may change dramatically who wins this race here. Finn is right all over the back here of Half King. It's hard to believe Finn might be in a race-winning position here, considering he was in the wall at Variante de la Rogier with Yassine on lap 1. This is incredible, obviously. Obviously, it might have been a little bit different had we had more people here. Again, we apologise if they're not being entertained here, but See, that might be due to the amount of drivers here. Round the outside goes Finn Kelly into Ascari, and he gets the move done. Now, that's something you don't see every day. Half King gets a 3-second time penalty. This battle may not be over yet. Side by side here. Going down into Parabolica, and Half King gets back in front. How the hell's that happened? Oh, he gives him a little bit of a nudge there. Settle down, Finn. You don't need to do anything silly. You've got a lot more overtake compared to your competitor. You should easily have this move done for the race lead. All you're doing is basically allowing Patuka to catch up to this. And now Finn gets the move done. Into turn 1. Let's see. Whether there's just any setup differences on what's between these two cars, who knows. But Finn gets the move done. So he's got to try and build that gap out to a 1 second gap here over Half King. We've also got to keep an eye out on Patuka here in P3. And this will be interesting to keep an eye on, that is for sure. He'll be absolutely flying, Will Patuka. Might go for fastest lap. Yassine gets a 3-second time penalty. So that's not going to help his cause here. Originally got that 5-second penalty he had earlier on removed. And now he's got to contend with that one, so that might come back to bite him here, although he's in comfortable P4. Considering Nacho's got 20 seconds worth of penalties. GeForce TP is actually starting to close in here. Let's jump aboard with Half King. He's got the fuel light indicator on, so that's never a good sign. He might have to manage his fuel to the end of the race here. Nacho's another 3-second time penalty, so he's up to 23 seconds if I'm not mistaken. We'll have one final look at the penalties probably in a couple of laps, but we're on lap 24 now. We're still within DRS here as Half King, but not really quite close enough here to make a move. But this will be interesting to see what happens here when Patuka catches up to these guys. What lap time did he set that last lap? Let's have a look. It was a 20.773, so he's about 5 and under 5 tenths behind the fastest lap, obviously, of Yassine, the 120.2. GeForce TP set a 120.9. So there are only 3 currently in the sort of the 120s, of course, they're on the soft competitor tyres. So obviously that was much better grip underneath your belt, and you go for the fastest lap of the race. Let's go back to this group here. As now that 1 second window has now been broken. So he didn't get the DRS here on Sergilio. So that'll be important for Finn if he wants to win this race. Patuka, 3-second time penalty. Now this will be interesting. This has really changed it up now. Yeah, like I said, I don't believe he had a penalty. Well, he had the 5-second penalty but got it removed. But if he stayed penalty free, he probably would have won the race. But now he'll be obviously trying to hang on to a podium position. Well, he'll probably will. But just which one? That'll be the big one. He's literally burning up every bit of ERS he can. There's his nearest rival there in the Alfa Romeo, Half King, in the foreground. Just slowly but surely trying to break that, come back into that. Let's have a look at this. So, as TP has gotten by Nachos for 5th place. So this is a good recovery for GeForce TP, considering he's been in the wall a couple of times as well. And he joined late during qualifying as well. And look at that, he's just pulled away here onto the past the Haas there. So if we keep it clean, he should be okay. Again, he doesn't get the DRS as Half King. And you can see the penalties there on the left of your screen. So 3 seconds for Finn Kelly, for Patuka, for Yassine. 6 seconds for Half King. So this rate, Patuka might get second spot here. Well, it depends whether he wants to pass him on track here or whether he wants to get second spot because of penalties. And 9 seconds for GeForce TP. And Nachos has got 23 seconds, but he should maintain position 6 in Stone Tell. Obviously, has just recently come in and put a set of softs on. Very old softs by the look of it. So he might have burned up a little bit during qualifying. We're on the penultimate lap here. Second last lap of the Grand Prix. And look at that. Look at the grip that Batuka's got, so he doesn't need to worry about penalties post-race. Gets by position 2 now for the Racing Point. And at current form, the championship leader. Now, does he want to go for the win here? He'll have to if he wants to get all 25 points. Oh, no, sorry. What is the point? I can't even remember off the top of my head. I probably should have them somewhere. I probably should have remembered them. But I'll try and remember for them next week. But I think the point system is based on the MotoGP system. It might be a little bit different compared to the normal Formula 1 system. But look at the pace. Obviously, as Nachos gets a 3-second time penalty. I was worried about that for a second. Half King gets a 3-second time penalty, so he's out of it. Yassine may get a podium here at this rate. If he just stays within 6 seconds. Well, at this rate, yes, he will get a podium. But this is the battle we want to see. That's a great chopper shot here. You just see in the background here on board with the Alpha Tower, he'll be fighting for this race win. Now he'll definitely be channeling his inner Pierre Gasly. This is exactly the same similar position what he was in when Carlos Sainz was chasing him down for the race win. Through we go, Cova Grande. Look here, Finn Kelly has not had a win yet this season either. Batuka has 1 win back at Belgium. Yassine's got position 3, even before Variante de la Rogier. Well, back to this fight now. So Yassine's onto the podium. Another guy who's recovered pretty well here. Look at the difference here. Who's going to fight this one? This is going to be interesting. He's going to try and try and try, but I don't think it'll matter too much because that's at Racing Point, the Pink Panther has been sent it. Oh, he tried it, but it's for nothing, really. He doesn't have the grip underneath him. The hard better tyres, even though they are the longer lasting tyre. Oh, Half King spinned it in the wall. Out of Ascari, he's been to 4th place. There is his car off to the right-hand side there. Oh, that's a real shame for the Alfa Romeo driver, but this is one heck of a drive for Batuka. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. Finn Kelly, you've got to give him credit. He did a fantastic drive to get up into 2nd spot there on 22-lap-old hards. That was an entertaining fight towards the end. I'm losing my voice. Yassine gets a podium as well. What a great race that turned out to be. G-Force TP ends up 4th. Nachos in 5th. I think Half King may get classified considering he's completed the 90% race distance here, but we'll get clarification on that one. But he should get P7 here as we wait for Stone Tao to basically finish this race. Let's have a ride aboard with him going through Serragilio. In through Ascari we go. Don't need to bid it now, Stone Tao. Good lad. So he gets position 6, obviously. So we will come around Parabolica for one last time. Get a little bit sideways here. Shove a little bit for the Italian crowd, considering there's no Ferraris for this race. But there you go. That was the Italian Grand Prix. Oh my. That was certainly entertaining. Driver of the day goes to G-Force TP. So great job by him there. So well done considering, well, a couple of times, you could say that for a few of these guys, a couple of them ended up in the wall. You probably would not have expected them to end up where they were. Might have been a bit different had we had more drivers. And again, I apologise if you guys weren't entertaining for this race. But that turned out to be all right. A bit more than I expected to be. But there is your podium as they spray a bit of champagne. Fortunately, the Italians will probably be not celebrating a Racing Point victory. But hey-ho, they'll take position 2 out of all of this anyway. So let's have a look at one final time at the results. So Batuka gets the race win on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Finishes a second clear of Finn Kelly. Give him credit. He gave it his all. He tried a very brave move at Ascari, but didn't probably realise the difference in the tyre grip later on in the end. So he finishes up in P2. Considering he was in the wall at lap 1, and can say can be said for Yassine there, he finishes up in P3 on the podium. He probably would not have been expecting to end up on the podium. G-Force TP obviously started from 10th, ended up in 4th, so he gets the driver of the day. Jay Nachos, probably what could have been for him, ends up P5. Stone Tail in 6th. Half King possibly may get classified, not 100% sure. And then the 3 DNFs being Ambrose, Lynx, and Kavoodi, running at your 10-car field. Oh my word, I'm going to need a drink for that one. Oh, my voice is absolutely gone. Just see the comments there for the before I finish up here. Amazing race for Finn Kelly. That was certainly an entertaining race. You made it entertaining. Thank you for that, Finn. And great commentary, Roscoe, considering that. Thank you, Server. Usually, I can't remember what tier. Is he racing in? I don't know if you're racing anymore, Server. You're probably not, unless you're in a lower tier. I'm not 100% sure, but let's just get out of this lobby and we'll go into theatre mode for a second. But that was certainly an entertaining Grand Prix, to say the least. Considering we don't have the 10 numbers, it certainly turned out to be entertaining. So, we'll just get into... Come on, internet. Get me to the end. Showroom, that's what I need to look at. And we need to get to this beautiful car here, this Racing Point. It'll obviously be turning to Aston Martin colours for the next game. But, yeah, hopefully you did enjoy it, guys and girls. Again, we apologise with the lacklustre of numbers. Fingers crossed it might be a little bit better for next time out. So, yeah, fingers crossed on that one. But smash the like button if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel, as always, if you want to go check out all the other streams that are happening. Pretty much, I think there'll be maybe one or two that might be going on at the same time as me. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but keep an eye out for RS1 that is coming up in about... I gotta remember my numbers here. 18 minutes, a bit under 20 minutes time here, so keep an eye out for that one on the YouTube channel. It'll obviously be led by plebs, so see the best in the business do their thing. I'll be probably back next time out, and one of the Pacific tiers, you'll have to probably wait and see which one of that may be, considering that probably still is a little bit up in the air. But yeah, as always, you can check out the links down below for all the social media channels. They're down there. If you want to come join the league, there's a link to the Discord. Hopefully it works. Fingers crossed it does. If it doesn't, well, look up Race Spec Esports on the social links and you can check all those out. But yeah, obviously keep an eye on Tuesday for the regional tiers, which will be obviously Pacific, the Euros and the Americas tiers. Obviously, I'll be commentating on one of the Pacific tiers. Like I said, I don't know which one yet, but yeah, keep an eye on that one. But hopefully you did enjoy this race, and it is for the last time from me, it is goodbye.